Welcome to episode 471 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. Cheesy, how's it going?
What's going on, cheese curds? I'm grumpy.
Crawler, how's it going?
I'm knitting, but hey, Crawler coming at you. How's it going?
Oh, knitting demolition man. And Johnny, how are you?
What's up?
Well, before we jump into this, guys, want to invite you to the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. Come hang out. We'd love to talk games with you and everything else that's happening over there. So much crazy good times. So again, n64josh.com/Discord. Come and hang out. And if you are looking to pick up any Elgato gear, you can now go to n64josh.com/Elgato and pick up any of the streaming gear you might be looking to get into streaming or looking to do some upgrades. If you use that link, it will help support the show. So thank you so much for that.
They had like the prompter and a cold shoe and a mini, one of the Keylight minis or whatever. For like the cold shoe and the Keylight mini were free if you bought the prompter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Very, very cool. Did you pick it up?
No, not yet. I want to. That would be a lot of Keylight minis hanging around in here, though.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. Well, before we jump into the meat and potatoes, Cheesy, where can people connect with you?
You can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Communication Error Podcast, CheezyC64, CheezyC64. Also, just want to shout out Cheese Guy in the chat. I don't know who you are, but I like you already.
I love it. I love it. That is great. Crawler, where can people connect with you?
Best spots are TikTok and Twitter, Nightcrawler74, Nightcrawlers without the E.
And Johnny.
I'm Johnny Bo. Everywhere: Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, and the Communication Air Podcast.
All right. Well, we've been kind of talking about, games we've been playing to start the show off, and I think we've been playing some Game Boy games. Johnny, you wanna kick this one off for us? You got a little bit of a hot take to get us going.
Well, yeah. Well, I was just playing some of Super Mario Land right before the show, and I never really experienced that game back when it came out, but I do understand the significance of it. It's the first handheld Mario game. But I did listen to the Nintendo News Minute on NPC that everybody should listen to. And I think Nady Nay mentioned he doesn't know why they released Super Mario Land 2 before Super Mario Land 1. And it's because people actually like Super Mario Land 2. Super Mario Land 1 is rough. It has some good music though. It has some bops.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really does, and
Super Ball,
yeah, Super Ball,
and a submarine later on,
and Egyptian. You fight a sphinx,
right?
Does that make sense?
There's flies and bees and all sorts of stuff.
The question I asked you is, did you play it when it came out? And you didn't, but you did play 2 prior, right? Or
I did play 2. Growing up, like that was one of my main Game Boy games. When I got the Game Boy, it was like Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, and then Pokemon, and then I had like Dave Mirra's BMX.
What?
That's pretty much it. Is that? I don't know if that was the right. I don't know if that's the right name. I don't know if he was the BMX. I had a BMX game.
Dave Mirra was BMX.
No, it was, but that was maybe it wasn't as bad on the Game Boy as it was on the GameCube and the PS2, because that was like Dave Mirra's Triple X was the.
Oh no, not that! No. Can you imagine if that was that on the
Matt
game?
Hoffman? Was there a Matt Hoffman one?
Hold on, I think I still have it. Hold on, give me a second.
Oh, okay. This is gonna be great. Well, while he's looking for that, Crawler, you spent some time with those Game Boy games, or you just been stitching the whole time?
I do my daily stitches. I get my knitting in every day. But I played some Alleyway last night. I just did one life. I think I got to level 10 or something like that. I played I played a full game of baseball. I did win. I think it was 5-4. I didn't get a home run. I had to play small ball. I played.
Can you only throw one pitch?
So you got to use the D-pad. So down on the D-pad, you can put some zip on it. I've seen pitches like 104 miles an hour in there. You can throw super slow by holding back on up on the D-pad, and then you can curve it naturally by doing kind of down and left or down and right. You can hit people in there. It's harder to hit people, but you can. Bunting in that game, like you have to like do the half swing, and then you just hold your bat out there like this, and then you hit it. But all the players move like. If there's certain like just limitations of however was it 8 bits at that point on the Game Boy? I don't even know what it was.
Yeah, it was 8-bit.
So like certain batted balls, like the third baseman just runs the third and just stands there, even though there's a like catchable soft fly ball hit over his head, and the shortstop has to try to cover from short all the way over to shallow left field, and then as you're running with the shortstop to try to cover that, your left fielder is also running up and towards the wall instead of in and towards the pit because everyone runs together. That's movable. It's a fun, quirky kind of part of that game. I had both baseball and Ken Griffey Jr. baseball on my Game Boy, and Bo Jackson hit and field or whatever. It was a football and baseball game.
Right.
So I had a few different sports games. My Game Boy games are somewhere. I should go dig them out, but.
So
Yeah.
I've never played baseball, and I haven't played it yet on NSO. But does it play kind of like Wii Sports baseball?
No.
Okay.
Wii
Like,
Sports
you actually
baseball
have
is
to
just
make plays.
yeah. Wii Sports baseball is just like well, I guess
That's what I'm saying. Is like it's kind of home
you
run
can
derby,
control.
right?
Do they auto run in Wii baseball?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you can control them on the field.
You can't control the runners, and you can't control the players on the field in Wii baseball. But on the Game Boy, you can.
Oh, okay.
It's very rudimentary. It's hard to remember that you're playing with just 2 buttons and a D-pad when you have 16 buttons or whatever on a Switch. So it's hard to remember that like it's A or B and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say? Did you ever play RBI baseball, like either
No.
in the arcade or in the on the NES?
It's
maybe a little bit on the NES, but I don't remember it that well.
Okay.
It's essentially MLB The Show.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Game Boy
Perfect.
baseball, is that what you're saying?
It's probably the best looking and playing baseball game on the Nintendo Switch.
Especially that sound. I can know when it's a home run based on how high pitched the sound is as it like leaves the outfield. I can know if it's going to be a home run or not. Yep.
They need updated.
I think it's similar to
rosters.
It's similar to black box baseball, right? Like I think that's what it is.
It's probably it's what's funny is like Johnny was talking about like how Mario World or Super Mario Land looked like is a little rough, right? And even graphically, think about how Mario looks. He's very pixelate, like he's just a handful of pixels,
tiny.
Right? He's small on the screen. Well, black box baseball is very much that. And then you go to Mario Land 2, and Mario's like a very decent sized sprite. They figured out the machine a little bit better, how they could squeeze more juice out of it. And then the same is true for the baseball on Game Boy. Same thing, much larger sprites, but essentially the same. The same game. I'm pretty
I'm booting
sure,
up NES online, and is Black Box Baseball on NES online?
I believe it is, but
I'm gonna check. But
yeah, I think it is. So
I'm wearing my Game Boy shirt in honor of all the Game Boy games we got.
I love it. Cheesy, how about you? What have you been doing much gaming this last week?
Yeah. So I bought Little Kitty Big City, and mostly Hannah, my wife, played that, and it was a good time. Like, it's a really simple game, but like if you liked Stray, if you like Untitled Goose Game, it's just fun to just be playing as a cat. There's not really much to it, but it's kind of a cozy cat game. So
if you like cats,
yeah,
you would like it.
Yeah.
Because whoever made that game definitely enjoys. They love their cats because I've been playing it too, and there's like a mission to do. You hop in boxes, and it says if it fits, it sits. You can take naps around the world. Like it's essentially whoever owned a cat wanted to make a game about their cat.
Yeah. I mean, it's like 3 hours long, so it's not a long game at all. But again, if you want to play as a cat, I think they got it right. And then I also played or finished Another Crab's Treasure, and that game, like that's my first Souls-like experience, and I really enjoyed it. It has a really deeper message than I thought it was going to have. I think the game goes on a little too long, but it still was amazing. Only made by 11 people. It was really great.
I love that. I love that.
Don't buy it on Switch. Don't do it. But I mean, if you are wanting a very hard Souls-like experience where it crashes on you 5 times and it has bugs, then maybe.
Wait, are we playing Souls or are we playing Eternal Darkness?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's been I played a lot of Wanted, streaming that on TikTok. A lot of Mario Kart. Did a little bit of Among Us, which was fun. Did some Among Us. Haven't played that in quite some time. And other than that, I haven't done a ton of gaming. I did outside of just streaming Mario Kart, been doing the pipe trials in the Discord, and actually kind of I'm doing a series now on a brand new YouTube channel, which is just N64Josh MK, and so because it's just going to be strictly
Mortal Kombat on
yeah, just Mortal Kombat. No,
okay.
Just
on Nintendo Switch.
Just strictly Mario Kart.
That's a Johnny move right there.
Oh yeah, there we go. yes. So no, doing just a brand new Mario Kart channel that's just going to be strictly just very niched and very just dialed in on strictly Mario Kart. So really really looking forward to that. And I've never seen people do the type of video that I'm trying, like utilizing certain parts of the game that I have not seen in any other videos. So I'm kind of excited to get these out and see what the reaction is, because I think they're going to be pretty helpful, because I know there's a lot, like, you jump into, you can check everybody's times in pipe trials, and it's such a wide variety, right? Like, and I'm probably just like a little above average as far as my times go, and so there'll be a handful of people that will be able to hopefully improve their times by watching the videos, and then I'm encouraging everybody to leave comments in the videos that are like, hey, also try this or do this, like, to kind of just so they'll become little mini guides for each track, which I think will be pretty cool. So we'll see how it goes. Jenna said above average, you're mad. So probably a little below average, but so but other than that, yeah, I didn't even fire up those Game Boy games I wanted to, but I haven't had a chance yet. And I love Alleyway.
You haven't bought Animal Well yet? You haven't?
No.
Are you still playing Animal Well?
I need to get back. I played it a lot, like late last week or whatever. There isn't like a great tracker of what you've, like, the only way to like know if you've done stuff is like if doors are open and you've beaten those puzzles. So it's kind of daunting. I don't know if it's a game that you want to just kind of sit down and try to beat rapidly so you don't forget, but I need to get back to it and keep playing. I have like the yo-yo and the bubble wand and the slinky, and I have a decent amount of the stuff, so I need to get back into it a little bit. But playing that and doing my stitching every day and played some Game Boy stuff. I'm diamond level, Johnny. Get on my level.
I have not played since that first week.
I'm at 96 of the 137 puzzles done.
Well, they gotta release new content.
Yeah,
soon.
I'm gonna get there soon. So
That's great. I'm glad you're loving it so much, honestly. Like, and you
and
literally are Demolition Man.
You played Smash this week, Josh.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we did put
played
some.
Smash at the end of last week, and then a little bit more this week with
Yeah.
with Servant and Nate.
Yeah, well, and we did something really fun last week after the show, which we're going to continue doing as time permits, where we jumped in with over on the Nintendo Powercast YouTube channel. We went live and we pulled people from the we pulled viewers in and we did Mario Kart Battle Mode, which was like there was a lot of laughs and like a lot of chaos, and it was really really fun. So if we got any late night gamers or like early morning gamers, because I know we got people like Jenna's Northern Ireland, so it's like middle of the night for her, so it's either late at night or early morning, and we I don't know, we had a really good time. I think we had 10 people total end up joining us, or 8 or 10 people, and we had fun. And Cheesy, you weren't able to make that one, right? It was just Crawler and John.
Yeah, he was
and I.
sick last week.
Yeah, I was
That's
sick.
right. Yeah, you were under the weather. So it was a good time. So if you guys want to get involved with that, we're doing it after the live shows on Thursday nights, and it's going to be a variety of games. Sometimes we might do Nintendo 64 games because they're 4-player. We might open up a Smash room and do Smash. We might do some Splatoon, and then the 4 of us can take on 4 people from the chat. We can just keep building teams and
We got
do
some
Turf
Star Wars
War.
to play here in 2.5 weeks.
Oh yeah,
Star
that should
Star
be
Wars
fun,
Hunters.
actually.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we can give that a go as well. So yeah, it's just something kind of different, and we're recording the whole thing. So if you guys want to go back and watch any of the chaos, you can. It's pretty fun. So, and Johnny, you said you had a thought, and I'm just
Yes.
curious what that thought was.
I did have a thought. So, I mean, I don't remember the price of Game Boy games back when they came out, but if they were $40, like you guys were saying, imagine paying $40 for baseball when there's one mode.
It was
You didn't
gaming
think
on the
twice
go,
about
man. It was gaming on the go. Like
Yeah.
that was
Or Mario, because Mario was only like 12 levels or something.
Tetris was baked into it, dudes. After you got done playing whatever game, you just put Tetris back in and you kept playing.
But man, I think the world would be set on fire if they would try to charge $40 again for one mode of baseball.
Yeah, but I mean that was a different time.
The system itself cost $90. So games I think were definitely like I thought, I think 40. If that.
What's fun? I'm trying to look up prices right now, but
Poshmark is selling baseball sealed for $550.
Whoa.
Yeah, rare new and sealed 1989 Nintendo baseball for $550.
And Cheesy's over here complaining about a $10 upgrade when Breath of the Wild Deluxe comes out.
Look, I just think that's I don't know. We talked about this on communication error, so I don't need to repeat what I said, but like you're complaining about Tears of the Kingdom being a $70 game, but then you would pay $10 to upgrade.
No,
Breath
it's
of the
not
Wild.
the same. No, you don't understand what I'm getting at with that one.
What are you getting at? Because I think
Tears
it's
of the Kingdom
unnecessary.
Tears of the Kingdom is on the Nintendo Switch. There's no enhancements in performance from Breath of the Wild. It's still the same engine, it's the same map, and they just charged us $70 because they knew they could. The $10 upgrade for Breath of the Wild that I hope will happen, which Nintendo's never done this, so they're probably going to charge us $60 or $70 for a new deluxe version. But like the $10 enhancement of a 60 frames per second plus 1080p or 4K, like that's definitely worth it.
I think that it gives people an opportunity to play that have never played it before. or want to revisit it, sure, like it's an option. But it's completely different when you're looking at something like Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door that's coming out this week or next week. When does it come out?
Next
week.
Thursday.
Next week. Yeah. That's a GameCube game. Like, people don't have access to that game. But Breath of the Wild, people have access to. I just think it's too soon.
Do you want to know how many more copies Breath of the Wild Deluxe would sell than Paper Mario Thousand Year Door? A lot. Like, Breath of the Wild Deluxe will sell like at least 10 million copies.
If Deluxe comes with Game Slot 1, Game Slot 2, Game Slot 3,
yes,
I'll pay for that.
Because it will come with, visual and performance enhancements, all the DLC, Nintendo ounce shirt.
A Nintendo what?
That's the new rumor that it's codename Ounce.
Okay.
But and all the like I said, all the DLC. That package for $60-$70 if you've never owned it before, that's a great deal.
I think not having game slot saves inside the game was a miss this generation, and I wish they would remedy that in the next one.
Yeah,
because I didn't go back and replay Odyssey at all. I didn't.
That technically has save slots. You could
Where?
do multiple save slots.
Really?
It's like buried in the menu. Yeah.
Well, that's a faux pas then.
Yeah,
as well.
It's not like the old Mario and Zelda games where they just have like save slot 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, they need to just go back to the simplicity of that, though.
Yeah.
I just found Super Mario Land sealed for $7,000 on eBay. Just throwing that out there.
If I put my Nintendo Switch back in the box with Super Mario Land on it, like, can I sell it for $7,000?
I mean,
might be a tough way to go about.
Maybe.
That's those games that are randomly found underneath when like Target once upon a time decides to move their electronic section. It's uncovered after all those years.
Yeah.
Mainly the Toys R Us's.
I was wrong. It's TJ Lavin's BMX.
Oh, okay.
On a clear cart, on a transparent.
It's a Game Boy Color. Yeah, it's a clear cart.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I was like,
Did
if
you
your
have
parents
OG
bought
Game Boy?
you Dave Mirra, I mean, I guess on 8-bit it probably wouldn't be too bad, but like,
Was his the Triple X?
Dave Mirra, yeah, I'm like,
I remember going to GameStop and seeing that in the GameCube section.
Did you have OG Game Boy like this one, or no?
I had the Game Boy Pocket.
Okay.
I have Pocket in color.
yeah, it says keep it dirty on the on the outside of the box.
I lived in green and gray for a while until I got a Game Boy Advance.
Oh yes, yeah.
So did Game Boy Color? I guess Game Boy Color did have more power, right?
Yeah.
Because they did different carts for Game Boy Color games. They have the bump.
Yeah, because you couldn't put them. Yeah, you
can't put them in regular.
OG Game Boy games could play all the way through SP, right? SP could play it.
Yeah.
It just stuck out the bottom of it.
This is actually a really good segue or like good thing to think about for the next system, because I'm just thinking about Pokemon games. Like, you could play them on the original Game Boy in black and gray, but then when you put them in Game Boy Color, it would have all the colors. So it would be enhanced essentially.
Right.
So like gold, silver, they were both on regular Game Boy, but when you put them in Game Boy Color, they had the colored sprites.
Well, and there was the DX version of certain games too, like
Yeah.
Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening
yeah.
had the color.
DX, yeah.
Had the
And
color.
it's a black cart.
And you really think they're not going to do it with Breath of the Wild? Grow up.
Wow.
And it's not too soon. By the time it comes, I'll be 8 years old.
But you're not going to be able to buy that game online from a retailer. You're going to have to go in person. Isn't that what they're doing with Paper Mario?
Seems to be. Yeah, like
you could download that game.
Walmart canceled a bunch of pre-orders and said, "Hey, sorry about your pre-order. We'll give you a $25 coupon, and you've got to come in the store to get your
That's a
pick
deal,
it up
though.
from us."
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
I mean,
What are they doing? $25 coupon?
yeah.
Are there any bonuses with that game? I don't think there are. They don't even do that really anymore.
I don't
Yeah.
think so.
So there was an article, because we were talking about this, I don't know if it was last week or a couple weeks ago. The digital software purchases on PlayStation were at 70%.
And they're only at what, 50 on Switch?
Well, I don't know what they are on Switch,
50 or
but
60, I think. Isn't that what it was?
Yeah, that's what we were saying.
I'm redeeming my voucher right now. So
You're redeeming your voucher on for Paper Mario.
yeah, it's downloading too, preloading.
Well, there you go.
Oh yeah,
There you
that
go.
game's been done for 20 years, right?
Hey, they had to downgrade the FPS. All right now, they
You can
Went
still
from
pre-order
60 to
it.
30.
You can still pre-order it on Best Buy, but
Well, you won't be able to pick it up in store at Best Buy. They don't have any more physical media.
Does
Well,
your Best Buy have lockers?
no.
Mm-mm.
So
They're,
mine
they're
has
doing it like Amazon and Home Depot or whatever.
Well, I don't know. They just have a bunch of lockers on the side of Best Buy, and then when you order something online for pickup,
That'd probably be faster than me having to wait for somebody to come
it's so
traipsing
nice.
over.
It's so nice. You don't have to talk to anybody, and human interaction. Any way to avoid it.
Apparently, this is Nintendo not allowing people to pre-order this game physically. Not only Paper Mario, but also Luigi's Mansion. And it has been happening with retailers including Amazon, Best Buy, and Walmart.
Why?
It says, well, we finally have a reason why. Walmart has sent an email to a Twitter user that notifies them their pre-order got canceled. According to Walmart, Nintendo will only be offering this item in stores. This is suggesting that the reason why the pre-orders are being canceled is simply because Nintendo isn't allowing people to pre-order these games physically online.
Is it because they mess up and send stuff early sometimes? Break street date?
It would actually be easier to break Street Date in store, I would think.
But also with a game that is a remaster, does it really matter if you break Street Date?
It does when they don't tell you who developed it.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember walking into Best Buy.
I think it does.
Walking into Best Buy and grabbing Xenoblade off the shelves like 2 weeks before its date. And I was like, are you guys supposed to have these out? And they were like, yeah, it's out. I'm like, give me your manager. I was like, yo, because I was kind of friends with her. I'm like, hey, these aren't supposed to be out. She's like, yeah, you're right. They're not. Literally came back a week later.
Did you buy it and then go tell her?
No, it wouldn't ring up. Because I did try, because that, I did try, but
override, please.
Yeah, and then I came back like 4 days later. They were all back out again. I'm like,
who's your supply manager?
Yeah, you guys, what are you doing here? But I
Do you
mean,
think they are expecting it not to sell that well?
I don't know why you'd want to hurt pre-orders. Like,
yeah. Why would you want to cancel those?
Like maybe they didn't produce that much.
Yeah, I mean, so it's available on Best Buy. Let's see if Amazon has it, because a lot of people don't have like a great location just to go right down the street.
well, and my initial thought was like, well, maybe retailers are like, yo, we're not shipping these.
Currently
shipping
unavailable
these.
on Amazon. It is not available on Amazon.
Yeah.
That is crazy. And the digital code is not available. What is going on?
That's very strange. Because my initial thought, like I was saying, was like, well, maybe retailers are like, yo, we need to get more foot traffic, so we're not going to do pre-orders of your game since our aisles are essentially bare anyway of all your stuff. But you can't walk into Amazon.
Yeah.
Rust Belt Kid says you can pre-order through GameStop.
He's throwing it in for the company that he's working for. He's
No,
still
I
working
don't
for
think, no,
is
he's
GameStop
not.
Rust Belt?
No, not that
Well,
I know
I mean,
of.
you might be able to pre-order it, but maybe they'll cancel it.
The fact that the largest retailer in the world doesn't have the game listed is pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's very strange. Yeah, very, very strange. So,
RPG's down to $43 on Prime right now.
Because they accidentally made the box for the new Switch, so they don't want to leak out
they don't want to go into
the name.
Well, and according to some like Sega leakers, or a Sega leaker, the name for the Switch is that Nintendo has been using with Sega is Switch 2 or New Switch.
Oh gosh, we're back on this.
New Nintendo Switch. Oh, I hope not.
Deluxe.
Please no.
What I mean,
Don't go down that path again.
well,
do we know if new 3DS was hurt in sales because of the name?
that's what I'm getting at. Like, I mean, I don't. Let me see if I can find the numbers that break down.
But that was still considered a 3DS. Like that wasn't.
I know, but
I think this is going to be
the
considered a
Switch
Switch.
family.
Just call it a Switch 2. Stop being a bunch of dum-dums.
I mean, Xbox needs to embrace that next time. If they're going to do another console, who knows if they just maybe go.
What
all
number
in
would it
PC.
be now? Xbox.
They just need to pick
6?
a number and go 4. It's 4, right? Because 1 and then 360 was 2, 1 was 3, and
It'll be 5.
Series is 4. Oh, damn. They're on 5 already.
Yeah, Jen.
But Xbox.
Well, PlayStation was out before.
But yeah, because Xbox and PlayStation 2 were
Xbox
same
One,
gen, right? 360 was 2.
1 was 3.
1 was.
Yeah, no, they're on.
Yeah.
Well, they would be on 5, and
They
PlayStation would be on
5.
6.
Okay,
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That's how.
We
That's how
can
these
do
things
math.
work.
Yay!
That's how these things work.
So, what's the difference between new Switch and Switch 2? Isn't that the same thing?
It is not the same thing. Are you kidding me?
Why is that not the same thing?
Are you kidding me? You hear new Switch and you're like, oh yeah, that's just the Switch 2. No.
I mean, that would be the new Switch, right? Because it's the second Switch.
No. The 2 signifies that it's the next thing.
So new.
That it's
new.
Well,
you would still call it the new Switch until the Switch 3 comes out. And then that's the new Switch.
New Switch U color light.
Super Nintendo
Super.
Switch. New Super Nintendo Switch 2. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's I think the big difference between the 3DS and the Switch is that the new 3DS still took the exact same cartridges. And if the rumors and leaks are accurate, there's a new card slot altogether.
What happens if you put Xenoblade Chronicles into a DS and not a new?
It blows
3DS?
up.
Did it fit? Because they
Yes,
didn't change
same cart.
Did they change that cart?
That's what I'm saying. The 3DS did not change in the lot. Like the family of 3DSs all took the same exact games. It's just a handful of games were.
So what happened when you put a cart that would fit into a 3DS that was
into
only
a DS?
meant to play? No. A game that was meant to play only on a new 3DS into just a 3DS.
It just wouldn't play.
You just got
Like
an error screen.
there
or
may
whatever.
be an error screen, but I mean, yeah, like
Because well, I mean, I think they're getting ahead of that, and they're gonna do like the slot is gonna be notched, or the cart is gonna be notched, or whatever. But like, how many grandparents are gonna buy?
Yeah. Imagine asking someone saying I want a new Switch, and then somebody's like, "Okay, I'll get you a Nintendo Switch that is new."
No, it's not. I think with it being in a new like it. I think with being because it's not a pro model, right? And I think new would speak more to pro, the way Nintendo does things and the way they did it with the 3DS.
But it doesn't say Pro.
It doesn't, but the new 3DS was essentially a pro version of that model of that console, right? It added a stick. It was a faster CPU, right? It was essentially a pro model. Same games, like PS4 Pro, still same games, but I don't think the new Switch is a pro model of the current Switch. I think it is a brand new generation, right? With new cartridges that's still backwards compatible.
I would hope so after 8 years.
You know, what really hurt Nintendo was the Wii and the Wii U. It was like, oh, this is the same family of consoles. No, it technically isn't. It was backwards compatible. Just like the Wii was backwards compatible with the GameCube, but they didn't call it the GameCube U.
What does the U even mean? Do we know?
Yes. So we was what?
No, just he's ready.
I'm ready for this.
I've been waiting for this question.
Somebody finally asked me. No, it's because when they were advertising the Wii, it was we would like to play. So get everybody involved. It's the family console for the Wii. And then for Wii U, they wanted to be more hardcore gamer or wanted to get more of the third-party games, and that's why we got like Batman Arkham on the on Wii U. And so it was supposed to be just for you, not for everybody else.
You can't have my TV screen. I'm just going to play it on my own.
Yeah.
But not too far away from the console because it will
13 feet. You can't even go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm right here with my gamepad, and sometimes it cuts off and I'm like, I'm right here. Like I'm trying to, the game doesn't pause either.
You got too many hertz signals crossing around over there.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
I'm not saying that I like new Switch. I think they can do better than that. I just think that it does do the same thing as Switch 2.
No,
but Johnny,
it
why?
doesn't.
I don't care what you have to say. Why? Why is it rumored Switch ounce? What's that about?
I don't know. I just saw that going around today, and there was the whole Breath of the Wild Deluxe thing came out of like a code name. So code name for Breath of the Wild is King, and so the code name was S King O. Like that's a code name that was leaked. Okay. And the S means Switch, King means Breath of the Wild, and O is apparently ounce. But I don't know why.
Okay.
Oh, the reason for ounce is because Nintendo fits so much power into such a lightweight machine.
Is that real?
Is that Josh being Josh, or is that
no? Like
okay.
As I've been doing the news this week, that did come up. Like I saw that somewhere.
Well, so
I like how we all had to pause and wait and see if Josh was being Josh. Though.
But
so King is the code name for Breath of the Wild from the Switch era. So that's known that's Breath of the Wild. People are trying to figure out what the O means.
Ounce, apparently.
Yeah.
I don't know where I saw. I don't know if I saw a tweet or an article, but I did see somebody mentioning this.
Now I got to actually do research. Now we're gonna get yelled at for not being prepared.
So do we get Xenoblade Chronicles X on this new system? Then is it finally powerful enough?
I don't know, but there's still somebody playing that game on Wii U right now. There's 4 players left.
Did you need to be on? What online did that have?
I'm not sure, but these guys programmed bots like on the 3DS for Mario Kart 7 to never stop racing, and one of them had one of their One of their 3DS is froze. So there's some just lone warrior in the in Mario Kart right
Okay.
now.
So this is from Go Nintendo. Rumor Nintendo codename for Switch successor is ounce, like the weight ounce, weight measurement. Rumors about the Switch successor have been flood. Hold on, I'm just
You're just looking for the part where you're right.
It says Midori, a prominent leaker who has connections to Sega and Atlas and has shared accurate information in the past, is now saying that she has heard that Nintendo's next system has the code name Ounce.
Yes. Okay.
And then it goes on to talk about the thing with Nintendo has a project in development with the code name of Yu King O. The code name for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild was Yu King, meaning that Yu King O is likely a port of the game on the Switch successor. So I am right once again.
Ounce. That's like Nintendo Switch Lite, right?
I'm glad we got away from this cutout in
Well,
the.
You're supposed to recycle it, bro. Do you not want to save the environment?
It was just a flimsy case.
There's another rumor that or from the same Midori, that Nintendo has a game called Codename Banquet in the works, being developed by ND Cube and Smile Boom.
Kirby.
Right? I mean, that's what everybody's got to be thinking.
But why wouldn't it be HAL
Nintendo Land
Labs?
2.
Why wouldn't it be HAL Labs? Like, why would it be somebody that's not HAL Labs?
Yeah.
ND Cube does like Mario Party, right? It's a Kirby
Nintendo Land
Party
Two.
Okay,
game.
so there
Nintendo
is
Land 2.
there is
Nintendo Land 2.
rumor of another Mario Party game,
Is there?
but not a new game.
But why?
It's
So Mario Party Banquet is literally just like Mario Party Deluxe, just brings all the games
Mario
together.
Party
Well,
10. Bring back the road trip.
no, it's apparently a port of the 3DS game,
Oh, the
Mario
100?
Party Island Tour or whatever it's called.
The 100 best or whatever, or something different.
No, I think it's the Island Tour. Now,
Wouldn't
I
100
should've looked
best
this
land a
up, too.
little bit better?
Hey. ND Cube also did F-Zero Maximum Velocity for the Game Boy Advance. And Tube Slider, and Wii Party, and Wii Play Motion, and Mario Party 9, Wii Party U.
Nintendo Land 2. I'm saying it.
Okay, hold up. Could Ounce be like a reference to Oz? Because that's like the abbreviation for ounce. And then it's like you go from Switch and then go to Switch ounce, whatever. And it's like
Follow
the
Yellow
world
Brick
turns
Road.
to color. It's all, the yellow brick road and the great and powerful Oz. Like, does that have anything?
So it's all smoke and mirrors. It's nothing.
Hey, I'm
Hold
just,
on.
yeah. Yeah, the rumor
Pay no
mill.
attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yep.
Well, the code name for Switch was the NX. I mean, how did that?
Dolphin
What-
was GameCube.
How did that correlate?
So Aaron, our servant in the chat dug this up. Says rumor, Switch successor's codename may be Ounce. Okay, it says last week Nintendo officially revealed that the successor for the Nintendo Switch was on the way. More deals set to be announced sometime this fiscal year. Although exact details about the console have been scarce, fans believe that the new console's internal codename may have been discovered. The rumored codename is Ounce and was arrived at after a prominent leaker going by Midori claimed that project codename Yu King O, like Johnny was saying, was in works at Nintendo based on the codename for past Nintendo titles. It is determined that the O is likely the first letter of the console's codename. Following up on this, it was discovered that the word ounce was a reference to an old Switch firmware update, leading many to believe that this may be the codename for the Switch successor.
So what I'm hearing is that they just want to get in on that wicked money.
Yep.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So this blows my mind. I talked about this on the Nintendo News Minute this morning, and this absolutely blows my mind. Okay. And I started having to follow a little bit of a paper trail here. So this is on My Nintendo News. It The specifications for the Nintendo Switch 2 may have leaked due to some diligent individuals who have been tracking shipments happening between component suppliers Nvidia and Nintendo. While we won't know for certain if these specifications are included in the next generation system for Nintendo until it's been announced, it certainly is interesting and pitches the system as a slightly more powerful PlayStation 4 console. And so I started digging into this a little bit further because like they have the source, right? So I clicked on it. Takes me to Twitter to Central Leaks, right? But then I started going even further into it, and it took me to Reddit. Literally, these people are like tracking like what is coming through customs from Nvidia to Nintendo, and it's like a 2-month delay on when this information is made public. Something along these lines. Like I'm gonna try to get, but like this is some like the chat was laughing this morning because they're like, "Yo, this is like Mission Impossible stuff right here." Like they called in Ethan Hunt to try to find out exactly what pieces are going from Nvidia to Nintendo, and like the length that people are willing to go to for this information is just crazy. But if it is true and it's
this is what the internet's doing.
Yeah, exactly. If it's a more powerful, a little more powerful than a PlayStation 4, I mean, they're packing that into a handheld. We're gonna be eating well, like we're gonna be eating very well. It's gonna be a good time. Johnny's holding the Steam Deck right now for all of the.
So I did want to talk about a game that I have been playing, not Nintendo wise.
We've heard about Vampire Survivors. Move on.
I
Johnny,
have been playing that.
Johnny, did you just tweet while we're podcasting?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
It's on my watch. I see it.
Follow
What's
Johnny
the tweet?
Blow on
What's
Twitter.
the tweet? Call him out.
He's preloading paper.
I had to get it in before they shut it down. I had to get it in before they shut the ability to post from your Switch.
Wow,
No, anyway,
Johnny.
I've been playing.
Did you do that directly from your Switch?
Yeah. I've been playing. Let me talk. I've been playing Elden Ring, and I have that same feeling that I did when I first played Breath of the Wild in handheld mode. Like when you first pick up a Switch and you're like, "Oh my god, this is like awesome!" I'm playing these games that I can only usually play on. Yeah, I definitely scheduled that tweet.
Johnny's not that advanced.
But that feeling of, oh my god, I can play these console games in my hand. And I feel like we take that for granted now, but playing Elden Ring, a game that would work on something that is as powerful as a PS4, like I think we could get that feeling all over again. Like
Wait, what you are describing right now is why Super Mario Land was good when it came out.
I know, dude. I said I understand the significance.
Yeah,
I understand it. I'm just saying the game sucks. No, it doesn't suck. It's fine.
But
it's
no,
not as good as Super Mario Land 2.
It was. If you were a kid in 1989, jumping into Mario in your hands with, like I have vivid memories sitting, in certain chairs at my uncle's house and my parents' house.
Of the car as the streetlights go by.
The streetlights and I remember specific lamps in my house that I felt like lit up the screen better than like the straight overhead light causing a glare. Right, the lampshade was enough of diffused the light enough that it was like just like the perfect lighting. And so but it is what you're saying though, Johnny. We're essentially experiencing what we did experience in 89 with Game Boy with the Switch. And now you're taking it to a whole nother level where it's like, we're talking about not just Wii U games and GameCube games, but essentially the potential for modern games.
So one of the things that we talked about on the Nintendo Byte podcast, that's Nintendo Prime's new podcast, was the DLSS or whatever. I don't actually know how systems are made, but whatever is like being rumored. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
I got it right.
I know it. I just got to find it in the back of my head.
Okay. Anyway, it's supposed to be like this great graphical. Yeah, DLSS, is that right? Crimpus put it in the chat. Supposed to be like this great graphical upgrade and make games look great. And they were thinking that maybe one of the big sells of the new console is NSO and making those games look better.
Are we talking like it like enhances to the OG games?
Yes.
Interesting.
That's not enough of a selling point.
Well, I mean, Xbox does that.
Yeah,
With the older games, they upscale them.
Yeah.
Well, Nintendo did it with Mario 3D All Stars Collection, right?
Yeah, but that was like an actual.
I know.
They put like minimal effort into it, but they actually did put effort in it. I think the way I think Xbox works is if you just play like an original Xbox game on your Series X, it's gonna look better than it did on the original Xbox, just because the Series X like upscales it somehow.
So I will say this. If you guys don't play your Switch with an M Classic and you're playing into a 2K or 4K monitor, I had mine malfunction the other day and was playing in 1080p, and there have been times that I'm like, oh, why are people so worried about this?
I forget I have that. It's just plugged into the back of my thing before it goes into my capture card.
You notice.
Yeah.
You absolutely notice. If you plug in 1080p after like you will notice. And I mean, I think that upres is even happening on my streams because people are coming in like, how are you doing 4K? You know,
Well, yeah, because I play on a 1080p monitor. I don't have a 4K or 2K monitor down here that I play on, and it sharpens it up just on 1080p. Like it cleans up the edge blur of. So whatever the M Classic is doing, that needs to be baked into the dock in Super New Switch 2U Deluxe, whatever. Ounce, whatever they're calling it.
I do want to address Cryptic's comment here. Says, does that excite you all again? For Switch, we got old modern titles.
Go ahead. Good. Okay, I got it.
We got old modern titles on the go for the first time, and now we're talking about Elden Ring on Switch too. Elden Ring is still super relevant. They're getting DLC
in
a
June.
month.
Yep.
And it's still really relevant. So yeah, that does excite me.
Yeah, I mean,
go ahead, Crawler.
We've been living how many years behind from the start? I mean, if we can get and PS5 and Series are not pushing the envelope right now. They're catering to the larger install base, and the benefit that we're seeing is quicker load times. There's only a handful of titles. Hellblade comes out here next week, I think, or soon, right?
What's that game? I never heard of that. Are they?
And then what are some of the? I mean, Square had Final Fantasy Rebirth, and what are some first party that have been exclusive? Was it did God of War come out on both?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that's the thing. We can't even pick out really any titles for each of the systems that aren't already there. So if we can get PS4, Xbox Series One, or Xbox One quality graphics and performance, I'll take a little bit of load time for that convenience on the go. Like, what does the load times look like on your Steam Deck, Johnny?
For Elden Ring?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem much slower than I played it on PS5.
And you got an SSD in there, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Do we know if that's one of the rumors? If we got SSD in Switch 2?
I'll give you the specs in a second. But my favorite My favorite reply in all these tweets from CenturyLink, someone says, I know nothing about tech specs. What does this mean in more basic terms? And the reply is 732 GameCubes duct taped together.
And I'm sure the person actually probably did the math to do that.
Yeah. So RAM specifically is LPDDR5X. And CenturyLink says also, yes, this will be considerably more powerful than a PS4.
So read write speed is faster. That's good.
PS4 or a PS4 Pro?
I mean, it just says PS4. So
was it that much of a jump to Pro?
I know that it's a huge. What if these parts are what are going in the next Switch? It's a big jump. You're talking about the Switch retail units have 12 gigs of RAM instead of 3.
That's a lot. It's a big jump. 4 times.
Yeah, and
how many flops we got? How many flops we working with here?
The teraflops thing never made sense. Never made sense.
256 gigs of UFS 3.1 storage.
Okay. Well, that's much more storage than
32.
32.
Yeah.
Well, 60 didn't it go up to 64?
Yeah, 64 on the
OLED.
On the OLED.
Yeah.
So you could actually play LA Noire on a default.
Can you play it?
What's the install on that? It was over 32 gigs, so I know you can play it on a base one.
Yeah.
But here's
they want you to be able to do those free trials of NBA 2K.
I did that. That was 52 gigs. I uninstalled Mario Kart on my upstairs Switch just to get the 100 points. That's how thank God I pay for unlimited internet, but like that was stupid amount of 52 gigs of download waste. I got to the splash screen. I checked if I got my 100 points and I deleted it.
Famiboards has been tracking shipment and customs data between Nintendo and Nvidia and others to find the hints of the Switch 2 manufacturing starting sometime soon. And last month, as of these postings, the customs site are delayed by roughly 2 months. Looks to have crossed a critical point. Like
these people are the equivalent of the guy that like tracks Elon Musk's jet and Taylor Swift's jet. Like they have websites that track their tail numbers or whatever. That's like
I
the
thought
equivalent.
I thought it was just an air tag.
you gotta get through that like that Israeli bodyguard that she's got to be able to put an air tag on it.
Right. Yeah. So this if this is all true, like the Switch 2 is gonna be a powerhouse.
Well, the biggest sell point needs to be online.
Yeah,
Meaning,
the online
like,
infrastructure needs to be updated.
Yes.
Yeah. Which I think was, right? That we talked about this months ago, like years ago with Monster Hunter.
And Mario Party.
The Mario Party had it, right?
Yeah.
Has the updated?
Mario Party Superstar.
Superstar. Yeah,
3
Mario
years
Party
after.
Superstar.
Yeah. So I think it's, I mean, Monster Hunter runs beautifully. Yet Smash and Mario Kart, like we know Mario Kart is rough. I really hope that they get that one nailed down. But I mean, it's a 10-year-old game.
Cryptic mentioned this already in your other news minute, but like he wants to play sports titles again. That's also relying on EA not making a mistake.
You could still play. Well. You could play Football Club.
Yeah,
and
from 2 years ago.
MLB The Show
2 years ago.
Mutant League football.
There's RBI baseball on there.
NBA 2K's on there, but it runs like garbage. So you know.
Yeah, I just want to play Madden. Madden's not on Steam, so I can't play Madden on Steam.
That's an EA problem. Like EA doesn't want to sell their game because they know it's just a roster update every year.
Lacey's asking with the with that much alleged power, will it maintain portability? And as far as we know from all of the leaks and rumors, everything is pointing to a
Hold it up again, Johnny. How big is it going to be?
pointing to it looking like the Steam Deck here that
That's not too bad. I think
So
it'll be
the
a little.
rumor, the rumor is it's going to be smaller than this.
Yeah, I think it'll have a little more slimmer form factor for kids for it easier for them to hold.
I'm
Probably.
just gonna.
well, an 8-inch screen is what the leaks and
get-
rumors are.
Get your measuring tape out, Johnny. Side to side.
There's no other
Diagonally.
way we could do this. No, I think it's like 7 point something.
I like what Servant said here. I'm just glad the Switch
7.2.
2. I'm just glad the Switch 2 is going to be extremely powerful to sell us Super Mario Brothers for the 18th time. But that's, I mean, even Super Mario Brothers, that's one of the games that, like, the ROM that they use is like, it's kind of washed out
What
and like,
What if they get rid of it, or not? Maybe they don't get rid of NSO, but what if they bring back the Virtual Console
Not gonna happen.
and they don't have the NSO apps?
I think this is their baby steps to a membership model, right? And so the more, like, it's more than just it's their Game Pass, and I think we're only going to see it evolve. I don't. Will we see day and date first party games coming to their version of Game Pass? No way. They will flex those brand muscles bigger than Sony. But
What do we pay for expansion pass?
Doesn't matter.
35 a year for a single, I believe. And
No, it's 50 for the expansion pack. It's 50.
So I thought it was
the year.
20 for a single for a year, 35 for a single for expansion, 50 for a family normal, and 80 for a family expansion.
Yeah, 80 is expansion for family. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pricing
But
and
I would
plans.
I would like if they gave the option for you to be able to buy the game.
50,
or
yeah,
just
50,
use-
50 for the year for expansion pass. Where's family?
It's 80. I just
Okay.
renewed mine.
Yeah. I pay for two of them. It's 80.
What do you pay for two of them?
I
Like
have a
game-
lot of people on mine.
Like Game Pass, yeah, you have the games. Like you could just pay the monthly subscription, but you'd also buy the games. So I would like to have the option.
Well, I mean, that's even right now. Like, I don't think I own the DLC for Mario Kart. If I stop paying
I
for
don't
that,
own it.
that DLC
Yeah, I
goes
don't own
away. Same with Animal
I mean,
Crossing.
you could buy it separately.
You could.
You could do that.
Right. It's just interesting that it, thinking about that, like,
I don't own Halo. I mean, I don't own Halo on Xbox. It's just there.
yeah,
I'm paying a pretty penny to play, pretty much just only play Halo. But
when Halo Infinite's free, you don't even need Game Pass for that.
what
If you want the
I'm playing
multiplayer.
now, yeah.
So for like Forza, you could pay for just the ultimate upgrade. So technically, I own the DLC for Forza, but I don't own
Yeah.
Forza.
The base game.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's part of their sales model, right? They'll get you in when it's on Game Pass and then sell you the DLC for like almost nothing, and then they'll take it off Game Pass, and it's like, well, I guess I need to buy this now. So,
Except first party doesn't leave Game Pass, but
Yet until
Yeah.
they realize.
yeah,
like,
they're also want
They're
to have a
floundering right
foothold
now.
in Japan, and they're closing studios, and the only studio they have in Japan. So
Oh, by
So
the
do
way,
you-
Mario Kart was number 2 in the sales in Japan this last week. Just want to throw that out there for you three. So,
Do you want to talk about the rumored Zelda game? Because as
Absolutely.
I'm thinking about it, right now we have so much Mario in this year. We've had Mario versus Donkey Kong. We have Super Paper Mario. We have Luigi's Mansion. And then we have Nintendo World Champions, which is like a bunch of games, but mostly like you think of Mario. So
Zelda's in there.
yeah, mostly a bunch of games, but like what could be next?
you're talking like for this rumored Zelda game, like what?
Yeah, I mean, could we be getting a Zelda game this year?
I this
Not
For
this
you
year,
only
no
for
way,
the
no way.
context, like for
like
the
launch
listeners,
year.
is you get to play as Zelda, not Link.
Oh,
That's the rumor. You're playing as Zelda. It's an actual, for the first time ever. If you go to put your name in the game, you can say Zelda instead of Link or your name. You know.
what if a game that is not getting DLC, wasn't getting DLC, gets DLC, and it's
Oh,
Zelda's time in the past?
for Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Lacey said, "Oh, I would lose my mind."
I think it'd be really cool. I've been wanting to play as Zelda for a long time. I think she's a very
They
strong
have a game,
character.
Johnny. It's called
Smash Bros.
Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, I want to play a good game.
That's at Johnny Bo.
I mean, I'm here for it. Like, I think it would be great. I feel like her character has evolved so much over the years, and we've seen just so many of her different strengths. But I really think with the Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom stuff, like, she did the whole sacrifice and everything. Like it, like, yeah, I want to explore this character. But how do they do it? So they do it well, because we don't want a Link clone, right? We don't want something like that. It's I'm thinking first person shooter, mostly magic wielding. No, I'm just kidding. But like,
He is wisdom. I mean, she's got.
She could play. You can play as Sheik.
That would be cool.
mm-hmm. Yeah, there's. I mean, would Zelda, similar to like Ezio in Assassin's Creed, something like that, like
More of a stealth.
kind of more sneaky and
just put a blade through somebody's head, just
which
They did
version
that in
of
Wind Waker.
Peach from Showtime do we want Zelda to play as the entire time?
Yeah, I just hope it's not
The
another
assassin.
type of Peach game. I just hope it's a completely different type of game.
No, it needs to be dark and gritty. The same way that Metroid Prime 4 needs to be dark and gritty. So, Servant says the new God of War is the model for a Zelda game. I mean, because that kind of broke the mold for what the average, like the regular God of War games were, right? It was like,
it's like over the shoulder.
She just walks around saying, "Boy."
More in
and Link's just like, like he still doesn't talk.
This is going to be their third person narrative game that we've been waiting for. Last of Us.
But I mean,
Korok.
What if wasn't there, if I rack my brain a little bit, wasn't Monolith Soft working on a Zelda title at some point?
No, they were.
Well, they help with
for both of those.
Yeah, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom.
So what if the Zelda game was more like Xenoblade?
Don't forget me. Power of friendship.
An RPG, like an actual RPG.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, I think that would be. Have Monolith, yeah, that's it. Cryptic saying the same thing. Have Monolith make a narrative Zelda game, like
with just auto attacking, and you do magic spells and stuff like that.
It could be. I mean, and think about her moves in Smash.
Cinematic.
Like, yeah, like.
I just want to give a quick shout out to Mike Odyssey, who found our podcast, and Mike Odyssey is someone that we have been on a podcast with. So, what's up? But
Love it.
Yeah, I mean, the Zelda movie is coming out, and I wonder if they were thinking about that ahead of time. Same way with Peach.
On that? Is that like 2 years out?
I mean, we don't have a release date. We don't know. But I imagine when they were making the Mario movie, they had plans to make a Peach game. Like even though Peach was developed, I guess the rumor was like 2019. They were making the Mario movie then. So maybe they just saw what they were liking of Peach and wanted to turn that into a game. Did it do very well? Is it what they wanted? I mean, I don't know. After like seeing Peach in the movie, I think it's a very different iteration of Peach. But maybe they're wanting the same thing for Zelda.
I just love the idea, honestly. Like, I love the idea, but having it not be, not necessarily being a hack and slash or being a just a Link clone, but having it be like an RPG. Because I mean, we got Mario RPG, right? But if you think RPG wise, you've got Pokemon, Xenoblade. Some people consider Zelda an RPG. Like, I've heard that that argument used to get tossed around a lot. Like
RPG elements.
And yeah,
but
it's a roguelite.
It's
Give me a
action
roguelite.
It's action adventure.
Hades roguelike. Yes. I'm down.
Kind of switching out. We were talking about Mario stuff a lot, cheesy, and switching kind of out of back to that gear a little bit. I saw this today that Lego and Sony are working on a Horizon Lego game, and that's kind of based off just one Lego set that they've made for Horizon Forbidden West. Lego and Nintendo have been doing a lot of stuff. Do we maybe see like a Mario Lego game here in the future? Like that could be something that I don't know how fast together they slap together.
When you
Lego
pause
games.
the game, his eyes go black.
I
Also-
hope it's not based on that freak of nature starter pack.
Well, there is
That
the Deku tree that's coming out. The
Yeah.
Lego Deku tree. So
Yeah, which real quick on that,
it's gonna be expensive.
is it 2 sets or one set that's
No, it's
reversible?
set. It's one
Because
set where
did-
you can
did
change
you guys-
the leaves. You can change the leaves.
Yeah, so it's similar. It's a more expensive version of the bonsai tree. So the bonsai tree can either be a bonsai tree or it can be a cherry blossom tree.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it'll just come with extra leaves that you can make it Breath of the Wild or Ocarina of Time.
Let me
So
store
you
those.
could buy a Nintendo Switch Lite plus Breath of the Wild,
Or you can spend
Or-
$250
or you can spend
on
$300
Whatever's
on a
gonna
Lego
be.
set.
Yep.
Yeah, 2,500 pieces, $300 is what the right, or at least maybe I saw 300 pounds, so maybe it's like 250.
No, I think it's three.
No, if it's 300
$300.
pounds, then it's going to be more expensive. But I don't think
Yeah,
it's,
that's how it goes the other way.
Oh,
the pound is worth more than the dollar.
yeah, yeah. But I think I did see. I want to say I saw 300 pounds on the article I read. It was on
There was-
Nintendo Life.
So I do think they could have the Zelda game at the launch of the next system, because I saw a graphic where it said each Nintendo system that has a Legend of Zelda game at launch has been successful. The ones that have not had a Legend of Zelda game at launch have not been successful. Wii U, no Zelda
260
game.
Brick Clicker, who's usually pretty reliable, is saying 260 pounds or $300. So it's a pricey set.
Oh, okay.
2,500 pieces.
Gotcha. That's a good question, Johnny. With like, they're just going to continue to delay this until Zelda's ready. That's the whole reason we don't have Switch 2 right now. They're just waiting for the, they didn't wait on Tears of the King.
Tears of the Wild. Tears of the Wild will be out.
Well, that's their play, right? Which is the other thing we've got in the title is maybe it launches with the upgraded versions of Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild. Like we saw Stealth tweeting about this, right? Like,
You think they're giving us a bundle of Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild? No way.
That would be a way to up sales of a game that is, I mean,
I think they would sell it
Tears
separately.
did not sell as well as they probably wanted it to. It's at what, 18 or 19 million?
It's at 20, but it pretty much stalled.
Yeah. Because it was at 18 like 3 months in, right?
it went pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw Johnny's tweet talking about it, like, if they did a $10 like upgrade, but I think Nintendo's play would be, we're gonna put all the DLC together in Breath of the Wild. Like it'll be the deluxe version. A bundle is probably not even like not even at all feasible, but have everything and then add a little more plus
Cryptic saying
tracing.
you get a Twilight Princess and Wind Waker with it. Just a new
It's a $400 bundle.
What was the disc called on GameCube? Was it the
It
Master
was a Master Quest.
Quest edition or whatever? Which had what? Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time. What else did it have on? And then it had Master Mode type stuff, right?
Yeah, there was a Master Quest disc for sure.
Did it have like Game Boy? Did it have Link's Awakening or anything on it?
Those listed there's what's interesting is there's also there's technically 3 different discs, and they were like pre-orders and stuff, right? The Zelda games on GameCube. I'm looking them up right now to see. I just remember playing Ocarina of Time. So,
Crimpus is saying it had Zelda 2 and maybe Zelda 1, so like the NES versions.
Yeah, because there was the 2-game bonus disc that was...
And Cheesy doesn't think that they're going to do a Breath of the Wild Deluxe.
I just think it's unnecessary.
So they did... Hold on. They did Ocarina of Time 3D. Majora's Mask 3D. Link's Awakening... I don't know what they call that one. I think they just call it Link's
Deluxe,
Awakening.
I think.
Yeah, but for 3DS,
Wind
you
Waker,
couldn't play...
Wind Waker HD.
Don't
Twilight
shut
Princess
me
HD.
up. You talk all the time.
Just,
You're hogging all the air.
I'm just telling you, like, you're wrong. They are giving us an enhanced version of Breath of the Wild.
But
it's 100% happening.
Don't get
And
it,
it's a
especially
good
with what you're saying.
business decision. It makes sense.
With 3DS, there wasn't access to play those games on 3DS. Like, we didn't have an N64 section on the Virtual Console for 3DS.
We don't have a GameCube section.
Yeah. So, like, cool. I'm glad that they gave us a way that we could play Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask on the go. But, like, if the Switch is the next successor is going to have a new card slot that just allows you to play the exclusive games, but also allows you to play older Switch games, it's already readily available. I can't say that.
You could still play Twilight Princess on Wii and Wii. Like, you could use the Wii copy of Twilight Princess in the Wii U, and you could use the GameCube copy of Wind Waker on Wii.
That's the point I'm making, right?
No, you're saying that we already have access to Breath of the Wild, but technically you could do that with Twilight Princess too, and they still did the HD version.
Twilight Princess, though, that was GameCube. You couldn't put a GameCube disc.
And Wii. It came on the Wii.
Yeah, Twilight Princess.
It was a cross-gen release,
just like Breath of the Wild.
I think I have the Wii version.
It's
it got what, HD on Wii U, right?
Or just like the Wii U and Switch with Breath of the Wild is what I'm getting at.
Yeah, it got HD on Wii U.
Just make a Zelda channel, and I don't know.
I would love to have all the Zelda games on one place. Like, why don't we have Wind Waker and Twilight Princess HD?
I think that's what their whole my gut feeling is. That's what happens with their model of Game Pass. Their library is so rich and so large, right? If you had every Zelda game, and the other thing that might make this more of a possibility is some of the parts they're talking about is a microphone.
Nintendogs, let's go.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, if the microphone,
your controller's going to talk to you again, like in PlayStation.
If it's built into the controller and or the console itself, you know, those games like Animal Crossing, where you could blow into the microphone and that would make things happen, or, you know, talk to your dog and Nintendogs, that kind of stuff. Like
Nintendo Land 2, man. Bring back some of this.
Well, Nintendo Land 2 was like That would be a fantastic online game.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's literally like their version of Dead by Daylight, but a bunch of Nintendo versions.
Find a way to multi-tap and let a Switch OLED connect to a docked Switch 2 or whatever and be a second screen or something like that.
Yo, I used to get absolutely wrecked in the chat for saying the Mario Maker 2 should have connected to the 2DS and the 3DS so we could use a stylus.
Though.
Like, yeah, but people did not. They're like, no, I got rid of that. I never want to look at that screen again. Like when the Switch came out, a lot of people were like, I never want to look at a 3DS. And I'm just like, that's crazy.
I got one sitting on my desk.
Me too.
I kind of want to buy a wedge for my kids just to not mess up my stuff and they can play my library a little bit.
They're all over GameStop still, typically. Those wedges are. So Nate says, please no crazy gimmicks. I'm fine with no crazy gimmicks, but in order to be able to play all of the past games, there's gonna have to they have to add some of those things. I would assume, right? Unless they're gonna try to map them to buttons, which could be doable, just like Skyward Sword. But we know that didn't that wasn't ideal. But yeah, they're gonna every and that way we could play Mario Party 4 as well, right? Or Mario Party 7 and 8. I mean, 6 and 7, whatever. So,
or they could just sell us that microphone again.
It said it comes with a scale, so you can measure how many ounces it is.
The Wii microphone where you put it on top of your TV, so you can yell at people while you're playing Mario Kart.
Yeah,
they'll sell a Wii U gamepad just so we could play some of like.
Wii U Classic,
Rainbow Curse, or whatever.
Wii U Classic, they've got all these things.
What was the Kirby game you were talking about like 2 weeks ago on
Rainbow? It's Rainbow Curse.
Do you have to draw,
the one that's on the
draw
Wii U.
stuff or whatever?
You have to draw like platforms. There was another. Oh, so I figured out what the one on DS is called. It's called Canvas Curse. So there's one on DS and there's one on Wii U, and there's a rumor that Rainbow Curse is coming to the Switch. Which I don't know how it's going to work.
What's the Kirby Mecha Robot one or whatever?
It's Robobot.
Bring
back the bongos. Bring back the bongos. I'll gladly play the bongos. Donkey Konga, come back.
That can work. That can work on Switch because isn't that a GameCube port? You can plug it into your.
Oh, and also like
you could probably play Dark Souls, Johnny. Go buy a pair of bongos at GameStop. I'm sure they got them somewhere, and then plug it in and boot up. You have Dark Souls 1 for Switch.
I do, yeah,
I'm sure you do. And then you're just gonna. That's your new content now. You're gonna learn how to play Dark Souls with the bongos plugged into your GameCube controller port.
There was like Jungle Beat and Bongo Blast on the Wii, and I don't think you needed the bongos. I think you could use the Wiimote, so you could just use the Joy-Con.
There was the what's the Japanese rhythm one? Is that what you're talking about?
No, that's Rhythm Heavy. No. I know what you mean.
It starts with a K or something like that. I forget what it's.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I just don't know the name.
And instead of like they had the drumsticks and like the actual drums in Japan, but for the North American release, you could just take your Joy-Cons off and just do this, which that's not fun. Who wants to do that? Just
all right. Nobody steal that idea. By the way, I'm gonna get some bongos.
Okay, do it. I want to see that next week.
Johnny Konga. That's what. Sir.
Wait, hold on. We gotta look up how much these bongos are. All right. What do you think they're called?
Probably $50.
Bongos.
Yeah. So
I'm searching
$30. That's not bad.
Yeah.
There you go. There's free content for you, Johnny.
There it is. I love it.
Donkey Konga 2 is $150 on here.
All right. Well, chat, if any of you guys want to hang out, we are going to be jumping into some game tonight. We'll discuss it briefly and then jump in and include chat. So if you guys want to play some games with us directly following the show, we're going to end this stream and then fire it back up on the Nintendo Powercast YouTube channel. So you can just you can look up Nintendo Powercast on YouTube and
now I feel like I'm obligated to do this because there's
$30 on eBay.
He has one in his closet Now I feel like I have to do it.
And if you didn't want to play Dark Souls, you can just beat. You can go play Tropical Freeze on Funky Mode.
That actually, it's a good idea.
Make sure it works first, because it may not even register.
Yeah.
Possibly. So,
I'll play Block,
yeah.
bro.
There you go. Play Vampire Survivors with your. That game plays itself, basically, right? So. All right, well, guys, thank you again for being here with us live. I think we literally broke, we've not hit this many numbers for live viewers in a very long time. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. We know it's late, and we love all of you. If you're listening after the fact, thank you so much. I want to remind everybody, if you want an ad-free experience, you can subscribe on Spotify and Apple, and there's going to be an exclusive show coming out for subscribers very soon. And it's Metroid related. So
can I listen to it?
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
I can send it to you. It's going to be pretty fun. I'm very, very excited. I've been working on it for quite a while, actually. So really looking forward to that. And so thank you guys so much for everything. We do appreciate every single one of you.
Follow the YouTube, like and subscribe, all the things.
Yep.
You know, you've been here for an hour and 25 minutes, so you should do that.
It looks like the majority of our folks are hanging out on Twitch right now, with a handful on YouTube as well. So
go to YouTube.
Appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now.